Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum to another lecture of Software Engineering 1 and CSC 291. In today's lecture, we will be covering, we will be starting a new topic. It will be software testing. And if you guys remember traditional software process model, then the main phases that we have in that process model was, number one, we covered analysis, and then it was design, and then it was implementation, followed by testing, and then deployment. So if you look at, so we have covered analysis, we have covered design. As far as implementation is concerned, we are hoping that that will be covered in the rest of your courses. For example, your courses on programming or your courses on object-oriented programming, data structures, and those courses. So in today's lecture, we will be starting a series of lecture that will be covering software testing. So just we have a quick recap, and if you guys remember, the main phases in any software process model are, number one can be analysis, number two can be design, then we have implementation, then we have testing, and finally we have deployment. So if you look at any process model, then these are the 5 stages. So you start off with analysis, where you try to gather the requirements, and we have done series of lecture where we discussed that how do we gather requirements, how do we negotiate requirements, and how do we finalize requirements. And then we have a whole series of lectures where we cover design, or the software design, and we saw that there are different levels of design. You start off with a very abstract level, and then you drill down and to get a more concrete design for your software. And we also saw that a software design, it's a blueprint for the implementation of a software. So we have covered analysis, we have covered design, and as I said, as far as implementation is concerned, that is not in scope of this particular course. We will discuss some things which are related to software implementation, or which are related to managing the code of your software, but that will be followed after we are done with the series of these software testing lectures. And we are hoping that implementation wise, you will be having various courses where implementation is covered. For example, you would have intro to programming, you will have object oriented programming, and you might have data structures. So your implementation is well covered in those courses. Then after implementation, we have testing. And what do we do in testing? Testing, as the word suggests, that we try to test whatever we have done. Okay, so the implementation that we have done, we try to test it. And the important question that should come in your mind, that what is the thing against which we do these tests? Okay, so in the analysis phase, the requirements that we have gathered, they are a source, or they are something for the customer as well, against which he will test that whatever you have developed, whether you have developed according to the customer requirements or not. So these requirements, they are a source of software testing. So whenever software is implemented and you go to the customer site and say that, even before you go to the customer site, you want to be sure that whatever you're going to deliver to the customer, it is according to the customer requirements. Okay, and so basically the testing starts when you are implementing. Okay, we will see that there are different levels of testing. The first level of testing is basically when you write the code, you test it. Okay, then if you are implementing in different modules, and then you test individual modules, then when you integrate them, then you test those integrated modules. Then you finally test your product in-house before you actually go to the customer site. And then before you deploy at the customer site, you go and show the customer that everything is working fine, and then you deploy at the customer site, and then customer is the one who will basically test the product. So testing is a long process. It starts off when you start implementing the project, and it goes on until you deploy the project. So we will be covering software testing. Let's have a look at what we have in store for today's lecture. So we have a series of questions that we will try to answer first. So first question is that why do we do testing? Okay, this is a very interesting question, that why do we need to do testing, and what is testing, who does testing, and what are the levels of testing. Okay, as I said, that there are different techniques and different levels involved in testing. So we will see what are those levels, and what are the different methods and techniques of testing. Okay, that would be interesting. And how to test a software, what is the technique that we use that we can say is applicable to almost every software that we develop. Okay, So before we actually go to the testing, let's see what are the common problems and why people thought that we should test our software before we actually give it to the customer, and why it was given so much importance that it was made a part of this software design process. So let's see what are the common problems. Okay, so the first problem that can occur in a software that you have developed is that it's not correctly calculating the values. So if it's performing incorrect calculations, then there is something wrong. You might have written the formula wrongly, or the logic that you're using to do some calculation, that is wrong. So that is the first common problem, that the software that you have produced, it's not calculating correctly. Okay, then the second problem is that incorrect data edits and ineffective data edits. For example, there is a field, you have designed a web page, and in that web page you have asked the user to enter the name. Now in that field, user should not be able to enter any numbers. Okay, for example, it should only be characters. Okay, so if a user can enter 1 2 3 4 in the field name, then it means that they are incorrect data edits, because it should not be allowed, because in that field you're only expecting set of characters. Okay, so that is an example. Now incorrect matching and merging of data. Okay, now again this example can be applied to that incorrect matching and merging of data. So if that is the case, again your software is not working fine. Okay, and fourth one is that you perform a data search and that yields incorrect result. Okay, so basically you're trying to search for something and in the end you're not getting what you wanted to get. Okay, so that is another problem. And finally, incorrect processing of data relationship. Okay, for example, you were supposed to find that how many employees they come late. Okay, and now you have a list of table which has basically, you have a table where you have the data for all the employees, and then you have a table where you recorded the attendance of all the employees. Okay, and you have used the employee ID as a foreign key in that table. Now when you want to see that how many employees they come late, now the relationship should show only the employees that are late. But if the joining between the two tables is not performed correctly, then you might get incorrect results. Okay, so these are few of the common problems, and there can be more problems, but more or less they can be fit into these categories. Okay, so number one, we have that your software is performing incorrect calculation, and number two, we have there are incorrect data edits. Okay, then number four, we have incorrect matching and merging of data. Number four, we have data searches producing incorrect results, and number five, we have incorrect processing of data relationship. So, and finally, incorrect coding or processing of business rules. This is very important. At times, your syntax is absolutely correct. Okay, so whatever you have written, it's not giving any compilation errors, but there are some business rules which you need to implement. So the semantic wise your code is not correct. If that is the case, for example, you're supposed to calculate the tax for a company. Okay, now on the basis of their revenue, they have certain formulas, they have certain business rules on the basis of which they calculate the tax. Now in case you have not done that correctly, so syntax wise whatever you have written is working absolutely fine, but you have not implemented their business rules correctly. So that is another common problem that can occur in the software. And finally, we have one very important one, that inadequate software performance. Okay, now in the performance there can be many things. Okay, for example, you have set a deadline that any report that you run in your software, it should not take more than, let's say you have set a time limit, it should not take more than 5 minutes. Okay, if that is the case, but when you run some reports, your software actually take more than 5 minutes, it takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes to compile some reports. Now that is inadequate software performance. Okay, so if that is the case, and another example of inadequate software performance is that for example, you run your software and so your software is not reliable. Okay, it crashes after every 30 seconds or after it crashes various times a day. Now that is inadequate software performance. Okay, so that is another problem that can occur when you implement a software. And then if you get confusing or misleading data, okay, that is another problem. And inconsistent processing, that is very tricky. When you debug your code, at times, again, most of these errors are such that they will not appear or they will not show up when you compile your program. Okay, so you will be very happy, okay, that there are no errors, but for example, this inconsistent processing, this is one of the most annoying errors. Okay, the reason is that they are very difficult to locate. Okay, because what it means is that you run your software 5 times, out of 3 out of those 5 times your software will run absolutely fine. Okay, but at 2 times it would not do what the software is supposed to do, or even if the software doesn't do what it is supposed to do even 1 time, then that is inconsistent processing, which you do not want from your software. Okay, or which you do not want from a product that you are going to deliver to the customer. Okay, so another kind of problem is inconsistent processing. Okay, then another one we have is unreliable results or performance. Okay, where you have lack of reliability, which basically we discussed this when we said inadequate performance, that if your product is not reliable, then again that's a serious problem. And then we have incorrect or inadequate interfaces with other systems. Okay, for example, the software that you have developed, it is going to interact with another legacy system that is installed in an organization. Okay, now if that has an inadequate interface, which makes it very difficult to use it with the other systems, then again this is another problem that can occur with the software. And then incorrect file handling. Okay, if you have file handling in your software and it's not doing it properly, then that's another issue. So we have seen that there are a lot of these problems that can occur with the software, and you can basically say this is such a broad category of errors that we have on this slide, that every error that you might have found in your software, they can basically fit into these categories. So let's have a quick recap. We have incorrect calculation, we have incorrect data edits and ineffective data edits, we have incorrect matching and merging of data, we have data searches that yield inaccurate results, we have incorrect processing of data relationships, incorrect coding and processing of business rules, inadequate software performance, confusing or misleading data, inconsistent processing, unreliable results, incorrect or inadequate interface with other systems, and incorrect file handling. So these are the common errors that can occur in any software. Any one of these errors occurs, then it means that your software is not working fine, and that should not be acceptable to you as a software developer or as a software company, that you deploy a buggy product to a customer, because that will bring bad name to you as a company. Okay, so that's why testing is very important, that you want to make sure that your software is basically not doing any of these things. Okay, ji. Now the next question is that who is responsible for testing? Okay, this is a very interesting question. Let's pause for a while, and I want you guys to think that who is responsible for testing. Is it the requirement engineer? Is it the software designer? Is it the guy who implements the software? Or is it the project manager? Who is responsible for testing? I think most of you would know the answer. Okay, or most of you would know one answer to it. Okay, that in various companies there are specialized people or specialized resources who are basically, whose job is to test the software. Okay, the bigger the company is, more organized their testing team is. Okay, so normally you would find that in very big software houses there are separate teams with the label software testing and quality assurance. Now in that team there are a lot of team members who are responsible for testing the product. Okay, so one answer to this question is that you have software testing team and they are responsible for testing the product. Okay, but that's not it. Okay, there are other people who are responsible for testing. Okay, and who are they? The guy who implements the product, okay, or the developer of the product, they are also responsible for testing the product. Okay, so the developers, they are also responsible for testing the product. Okay, and where they are responsible for testing the product, that question will be answered in the following slides. So you guys have to wait for it. Okay ji. Now the next question is that as a software tester, if I want to be a software tester, then what are the objectives for me? Okay, if I want to be a good software tester. Okay, so the first one is that you find the bug as early as possible and make sure they get fixed. Okay, this is something which is very important. Okay, if you figure out a problem at a very early stage, okay, then it is less costly to fix the problem. Okay, whereas if you find the problem, okay, just imagine that you have actually deployed the product to the customer site, okay, and then you found that there was a serious bug in the product, okay, and you have installed the whole application on the server, and you have done, you know, all the data migration, and your product is actually running, and then you figure out that there was a problem in the software. Okay, if that is the case, then fixing that bug is very costly. Okay, why it is costly? Because you have already deployed the product, you have already done the data migration, but because of that bug, you are not sure whether the things that you have done already, you know, for example, the data migration, there might be some calculation which might have corrupted the data. Okay, so that's why it would be very costly. But whereas if you would have found the bug, you know, at the early stage, even before the deployment or before integration with the other modules, then it would have been less costly. So, okay, so the earlier the bug you know, if you find the bug early, then it will be less costly to fix a bug. Okay, then the second objective of a tester is that to understand the application well. Okay, now usually people think that the software testing is a relatively simple job, or it's a very easy job, but as a software tester, you know, a software tester should not only have understanding of the test cases that he or she has written, but he should also have an understanding about the product. A good software tester would always know what were the requirements for the product. Okay, because in the end he would have to run those test cases against those requirements. Okay, so as a software tester, second objective is that you need to develop understanding of the product or the application that you will test. Okay, and the third one is study the functionality in detail to find where the bugs are likely to occur. Okay, this is something very important, that you need to develop an understanding, and you need to know, okay, which are the functionalities. For example, you would know, if you have studied the requirements well, or if you have developed the understanding about the product, you would know that there are certain places or certain functionalities in the product where are some business rules implemented. Okay, now you should have a gut feeling that this is the place, okay, that where error can occur. So as a software tester, you should have that in you, that ability to find errors in the areas, or ability to test the functionality where you think error might occur. Okay, and then the fourth one is the study the code to ensure that each and every line of the code is tested. Okay, now this part of testing is done by the other category of software testers. जो मैंने आपसे कहा था, developers भी testing करते हैं. Okay, so we'll come to that in the following slides, and we'll discuss that in more detail. Okay, and then the final one is that as a software tester, you should create test cases in such a way that the testing is done to uncover the hidden bugs, and also ensure that the software is usable and reliable. Okay, this is very important, and this is in fact a very active area of research in software engineering or research in software testing, is the test area coverage, okay, or the testing coverage. Okay, now what people are trying to achieve is they are trying to come up with ways that they should write minimum test cases, but they should cover the whole product. Okay, for example, you know, if that is the whole software, the circle is the whole software, you know, and to cover every inch of that circle, you know, for example, we say that these bars are showing that we are testing each corner of the circle to make sure that, you know, this is done correctly. Okay, and similarly is about inside the circle. Okay, then you can say that, okay, we need to write 1000 test cases. Okay, and so the goal here is that you do not want to leave basically any part of the circle which is not tested. Okay, imagine that this is your application. Okay, so when you're writing test cases, your goal is that you want to test every possible functionality that the product is providing. So you do not want to leave any part of the product which you have not tested. Okay, and this is called testing coverage. Okay, now what I suggested what I said about the research in software testing is that the people are trying to achieve that how they can minimize these number of test cases, how they can basically perform the same kind of testing with, let's say, 100 test cases. Okay, so there is a lot of research going on which you can read. You can find various articles on the internet. Okay, so as a software tester, let's quickly recap. You have basically 5 objectives. Number 1 is find the bugs as early as possible. Number 2 is understand the application well. Number 3 is study the functionality so that you would know where is the where the probability of an error occurring is more. So you need to understand the functionality of the product. Number 4 is you study the code to ensure that basically your code is going through each and every line. If you have for loops, then you need to check the boundaries. For example, your for loops is running from 0 to 100, so you want to make sure that it enters the loop when the value is 0 and it exits the loop when the value is 100. And similarly, and the final one is you create the test cases in a way that you want the coverage to be maximum. You want to test the whole product. So you have 5 objectives as a software tester. Okay. Now in general, those were kind of those objectives which, as a tester you should have those, you should develop those abilities. But in a way, when you are actually testing the product, then what are your objectives then? Okay. So you execute a program. Whenever, as a software tester, whenever I would run a program, my intention would be that I would have to find an error. Okay, I want to fail this product. Okay, because a software tester's efficiency when you're working in a company, and you are a software testing engineer or you're a software tester, then your efficiency would be calculated by how many bugs you actually found in the product. Okay, so if you do not find any bug in the product, then it means you're not a good tester. Okay. So you need to make sure that whenever you run the software, your intention should be that you have to fail the product. You have to find a bug. Okay, that is an intention of a software tester. Okay, the second is to check if the system fully meets the requirements and be executed successfully in the intended environment. Okay, and again, there is a lot of emphasis on the requirements, because requirements are the one against which you will basically test your product. Okay. So you basically have to check the system against those requirements, and you have to test it in an environment where the software will actually be deployed, and to check if the system is fit for purpose. Okay, and finally to check if the system does what it is expected to do. For example, remember the case कि आपके business rules की calculation अगर सही नहीं हो रही, so then that is something seriously wrong. Okay, so as a these are some further objectives when you are actually performing the testing. Okay. And the final one is a good test case is one that has a probability of finding an as yet undiscovered error. Okay. Okay. So for example, you have written a test case which is so good that whenever you run it, it finds an error. Okay. So the probability, for example, you have run it 5 times, and the 5 times you have run it, you have found a bug. Okay. If that is a test case, then the probability that that test case would find a bug is 100. Okay, or is 1. Okay, 100% or 1. Okay, I mean it should not be that high, because that would mean that you have written a program which is seriously not working fine. But the goal is that whenever you write a test case, your goal should be that this test case, whenever I run it, I will find a bug. Okay, and because this is your efficiency as a software tester, because your job is to make sure that the product that you will be delivering, or the product that passes through you, will be bug free. Okay, so this is very important. As a software tester, whenever you run a product, your intention is that you want to find a bug. Okay, that is very important to keep in mind, that whenever you are testing a product, this should be your goal. And finally, this is very important, that a good test case is not redundant. Okay, for example, you have written a test case, but it is so obvious, or the functionality is so simple that it's working absolutely fine. Okay, or you at times you do not even need to run that test case. In that case, that is actually wasted effort. Okay, क्योंकि जब आपने वो test case लिख दिया, तो somebody would have to actually run that test case. Okay, but because that was so simple, okay, there was no bug in it. Okay, now you can say that वो जो test case था, that is a redundant test case. Okay, so you need to make sure that whenever you're writing test cases should be written in a way that they should be able to uncover bugs. Okay, so this is very important, and test cases should not be redundant. So another thing is that a good test case, it should not be too simple and it should not be too complex. Okay, it should not be the case कि आपने 5-6 functionalities को एक ही test case में test करना शुरू कर दिया. If you are doing that, then you have made that test case very complex. Okay, so ideally you should be testing one functionality in one test case. Okay, even at times you test one functionality in multiple test cases. Okay, so you need to basically or at times there might be the case कि आप बहुत ज़्यादा functionality एक test case से check कर रहे हैं, लेकिन you need to develop an understanding कि आपके जो test case है वो इतना adequately designed हो कि it's not very simple and it's not very complex. Okay जी. So before we move on, there are 2 terms which I want to introduce to you. Number 1 is verification, and number 2 is validation. Okay, So what is the meaning of verification? So it is, by verification we mean that are the algorithms coded correctly. Okay, so when we say that we want to verify the product, so we are saying actually that we want to make sure that whatever the business rule that the customer gave us, okay, whatever the business logic that we wanted to implement, we have actually done it correctly. Okay, so for example, we are implementing a sorting algorithm. We want to make sure that actually we have implemented the sorting algorithm correctly. Okay, so let's see what the slide says. It says that the set of activities that ensure that the software correctly implements a specific function or algorithm. Okay, so that is verification. It involves reviews and meeting to evaluate documents, plans, code, requirements and specifications. And normally these verification, how this is done? This is basically done through checklists or issue list of walkthroughs and inspection meetings. So basically this is kind of part of the quality assurance team, that they verify the product. How they actually do it? For example, you have written, you basically verify everything. You verify the SRS document that you have written, you verify your design documents, you verify your test cases, you verify your code. So everything that you have done, you try to verify it. And the purpose of verification is that the functionality that you wanted to implement in the product, whether you have done it correctly or not. Okay, and then comes the validation. Okay, by validation we mean we started developing this product according to the customer requirements, and once we have developed the product, then we want to make sure that whether it meets those requirements or not. So when you actually testing your product against the customer requirements, okay, then that is validation. Okay, so basically it involves the set of activities that ensure that the software that has been built is traceable to customer requirements. Okay, because as we discussed this when we were doing the lectures on requirement gathering, that the software requirements that you gather at the beginning, okay, they are the source, or they are basically a tool for the customer as well, and it is a tool for you as well. Do check when you have actually developed the product that whether you have actually done it according to the customer needs or not. When you do that, that is validation of the product. Okay, and it involves, what does validation involve? We saw कि verification हम कैसे करते हैं? We do verification through walkthroughs. We do verification through inspections. Okay, whereas in validation, actual testing is performed. Okay, and this is normally done when the verification is complete. Okay, so now you know the difference between verification and validation. In verification, you are checking the functionality that you wanted to have in the product, whether that is there or not. And in case of validation, you want to make sure that whatever you have developed, it is according to the customer needs or according to customer requirements. Now this verification and validation process, they continue in a cycle till the software is complete or till the software becomes defect free. Okay, now this is a very strong statement. In fact, I will come to basically ask you this question later on in the lecture, that are you sure that a software is ever defect free? You know, this is an important question. Keep this in mind, and we will discuss that in towards the end of the lecture. Okay, ji. Now, as we saw, okay, there is a proper process for requirement gathering, okay, where we start with, you know, inception, and then we did elicitation, elaboration, and, you know, we went through basically those 7 different phases of requirement engineering process. Similarly, we saw, okay, in case of design, we start off at a very abstract level and we drill down to get a more concrete design of the product. Similarly, when we talk about software testing, then there are different phases involved in this software testing. Okay, so the first one is that we need to develop an understanding of the requirements. This is very important, and we discussed that this is one of the objectives of a software tester. Okay, that you need to develop the understanding of the requirements. Second phase is analysis and planning. Okay, the third is test case design and development. Okay, and the fourth one is test execution. Fifth one is test closure, and finally we have test process analysis. Okay, so we have 6 phases. In the first phase, we develop an understanding of requirements. In the second phase, we do an analysis and planning, that how we will actually test the product. Okay, and we develop a whole plan that at basically which stages of the development we will do which kind of testing. Then we actually design those test cases, okay, and we develop them. And in the fourth phase, we actually perform the testing. In the fifth phase, we actually close the testing, and we try to figure out that how many bugs we actually discovered in this. And finally, we try to calculate the efficiency of our testing process. Okay, so these are the 6 different phases in the software testing life cycle. Okay ji. Now what is involved when we say we want to study the requirements? Okay, so this is one of the most important objectives for a software tester. So this is one of the most important phases in the life cycle of testing. Okay, because the testing actually starts when you start getting those requirements, right? In fact, this is one of the things that I mentioned when we saw कि हम requirements gather करते हैं, कि जब आपके पास requirements आती जाती हैं, as soon as you start receiving those functional and non-functional requirements, you can write the test cases against those requirements then and there. Okay. For example, user आपसे कहता है कि जी one of the requirements is that any users of the software should be able to log in through a proper username and password. Okay. Now you know that one functionality that the customer wants in the product is authentication through proper username and password. तो जब आप एक टेस्ट केस आप इसका कैसे लिख सकते हैं कि the test case would be that you want to make sure कि यूज़र जो है वो प्रॉपरली पासवर्ड अपना डालते हैं और अपना यूज़र नेम डालते हैं तभी लॉगिन होते हैं कि नहीं होता है, ठीक है। तो इस तरह से आपकी टेस्टिंग वहीं से स्टार्ट हो जाती है जब आप यूज़र से रिक्वायरमेंट्स लेना शुरू कर देते हैं, ओके। क्योंकि आपको पता है जब आपने कस्टमर को ये चीज़ दिखानी है the customer will test the product against what he told you, okay. So the testing actually starts when you start getting those requirements. So testing or the understanding of these requirements is very critical for the whole testing process, okay. Okay, what do you do when you basically analyze and planning? Okay, so the first thing is test objective and coverage. Okay, we discussed the topic of coverage briefly in the starting slides. Okay, what do we mean by coverage? We gave the example of the circle. Okay, if this is your product, then you want to cover every inch of the circle. Okay, you don't want to leave any area of the circle कि जिसको आपने टेस्ट ना किया. If this is your product, okay, so you want to maximize the coverage. ठीक है, जब आपके if you are part of the testing team और जब आपके से product गुजर के चली जाए तो you should be able to say कि we have tested everything in the product. Okay, तो आप coverage को maximize करते हैं, ठीक है. So basically you plan for that and then you develop an overall schedule. जैसा मैंने आपसे कहा था कि when you will actually perform the testing. जैसा testing के हम देखेंगे different levels हैं. There is unit testing and there is integration testing. ठीक है, तो we'll see कि कौन सा level हम कब perform करते हैं. You actually plan for it. Then we have some standards or methodologies. ठीक है, different companies के different standards होते हैं. ठीक है, जिस तरह some companies might have a different way of reporting a bug to the, ठीक है. For example, जब आप code implement कर देते हैं, ठीक है, some companies what they do is, for example, if I'm in the development team and you are in the software testing team, once I have implemented a code, I will say कि जी this is the build and I will upload the build. ठीक है, और as a tester आपको भी एक notification आ जाएगा कि new build is loaded. ठीक है. Now what you would do or what your job would be, you would need to basically test that, okay. And once you will start testing the product, each company they might have a different way of reporting a bug. ठीक है, कुछ कंपनीज ने bugs की सारी रिपोजिटरी को सेंट्रलाइज किया होता है through Bugzilla, any other similar product. ठीक है, so what they do is कि जितने भी bugs होते हैं, for example, every software tester whenever he finds a bug, so he will allocate a developer to it. ठीक है, कि ये bug मुझे मिला है and he will say कि person A, B and C will fix this bug. Okay. So इस तरह से different company के different standards हो सकते हैं testing के अंदर, ठीक. Then another part of planning is that you identify the resources required कि कौन से आपको resources चाहिए होंगे और कितनी देर के लिए चाहिए होंगे. That is another part of this analysis phase of software testing. And then you allocate the roles and assign responsibilities to all the team members. Okay, and then finally you basically figure out okay, these are the tools that we are going to use when we do testing. Okay, at times you do automated testing, ठीक है, और टेस्टिंग टूल्स के अंदर वो टूल्स भी आ जाते हैं फॉर एग्जांपल जिसके अंदर आप बग्स की रिपोजिटरी को सेव करते हैं, सो ऑल थिंग एनीथिंग दैट इज बेसिकली पार्ट ऑफ टेस्टिंग और इसको आप बेसिकली किसी भी तरह से अगर ऑटोमेट किया हुआ है तो दैट इज काइंड ऑफ अ टूल दैट यू आर यूजिंग ड्यूरिंग टेस्टिंग. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स दैट आर इन्वॉल्व्ड इन एनालिसिस एंड प्लानिंग ऑफ सॉफ्टवेयर टेस्टिंग. Okay ji, and the next phase we saw it was test case design and development. Okay, now how do you design and develop the test cases? ठीक है, सबसे पहले तो you try to identify the different components in the product and then you perform the test specification review. Okay, so again when you are designing these test cases, the purpose is, which we saw in the analysis phase, that we want to maximize the coverage. Okay, so basic criteria is that you basically figure out all the requirements, okay, and against those requirements you basically say कि for each functionality यू हैव टू राइट सर्टेन नंबर ऑफ टेस्ट केसेस। जिस तरह आपको मैंने एग्जांपल दी थी ऑथेंटिकेशन वाली, ठीक है, अब उसका अगर सिंपल सा टेस्ट केस क्या होगा कि आप इसको किस तरह टेस्ट कर सकते हैं कि ये जो लॉगिन, फॉर एग्जांपल दीज आर द टू फील्ड्स इन योर वेब पेज, ठीक है, एक है यूज़र नेम और दूसरा है पासवर्ड, ठीक है। अब इसको टेस्ट करने का क्या तरीका है? एक तरीका तो ये है कि आपने ये भी एम्प्टी डाल दिया, ये भी एम्प्टी डाल दिया, तो आप देखेंगे कि भाई एम्प्टी अगर मैं डाल के ये लॉगिन वाला बटन प्रेस करता हूँ तो लॉगिन होता है कि नहीं होता, ठीक है। दैट इज़ पार्ट ऑफ दिस टेस्ट केस, जो आप जिसमें आप ये ऑथेंटिकेशन की और यूज़र ऑथेंटिकेशन की फंक्शनैलिटी को चेक कर रहे हैं, ठीक। दूसरा पार्ट क्या होगा टेस्ट केस का कि आपने इसको एम्प्टी डाल दिया, इसके अंदर पासवर्ड डाल दिया, फिर इसके अंदर यूज़र नेम डाल दिया, इसके अंदर पासवर्ड डाल दिया, फिर इनकरेक्ट यूज़र नेम और इनकरेक्ट पासवर्ड डाल दिया। तो देयर आर डिफरेंट कॉम्बिनेशंस ऑफ टेस्ट केसेस। तो जब भी आप एक टेस्ट केस भी डिज़ाइन करते हैं, ठीक है, और जब आप उसको डेवलप कर रहे होते हैं, तो यू नीड टू थिंक अबाउट ऑल द पॉसिबल थिंग्स दैट कैन गो रॉन्ग विद अ सर्टेन फंक्शनैलिटी। जिस तरह आप इस यूज़र नेम और पासवर्ड वाली फील्ड के साथ काफ़ी चीज़ें जो गलत हो सकती हैं। आपका यूज़र नेम गलत हो सकता है, आपका पासवर्ड गलत हो सकता है, दोनों गलत हो सकते हैं। या आप यूज़र नेम को खाली छोड़ के पासवर्ड डाल दें, यूज़र नेम को डाल के पासवर्ड खाली छोड़ दें, यू नो, तो यू विल बेसिकली हैव टू टेस्ट दिस for all these possibilities and then you would say कि यूजर authentication बिल्कुल सही चल रही है, ठीक है। तो this is part of developing a test case that you need to be thorough. You need to think about all the possible things that can go wrong with a certain functionality. Okay, then comes test execution. Okay, that this is the phase where you actually start performing the testing. Okay, so you do the code review. What do we do in a code review? मैंने पहले भी आपसे कहा था कि in the code review we want to make sure कि जो हमारे कोड का फ्लो है, ठीक है, it basically goes through every possible line of code that I have written. For example, there are certain if else condition जिसके अंदर आपका कोड कभी जाता ही नहीं है, ठीक है, तो उसके अंदर आपके बेसिकली वो these are useless lines. Okay, so you want to make sure कि whatever you have written there is a possibility कि उसके अंदर आपका कोड जाएगा, ठीक है, तो this is very important. और फिर जब आप टेक्स्ट एग्जीक्यूट करते हैं तो आप उसको इवेल्युएट भी करते हैं। यू वांट टू कैलकुलेट द एफिशिएंसी कि कितनी आपकी जो टेस्टिंग आपने टेस्ट केसेस बनाए थे, आपने जो टेस्ट केस डिजाइन किए थे, डेवलप किए थे, व्हाट इज द एफिशिएंसी ऑफ दोस टेस्ट केसेस, ठीक है। सो यू वांट टू गेज द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ योर टेस्टिंग, ठीक है। तो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट व्हेन यू एग्जीक्यूट द टेस्ट केसेस, यू वांट टू मेक श्योर कि आपकी टेस्टिंग कितनी अच्छी थी, ठीक है, हाउ मेनी बग्स दैट यू अनकवर। Okay, and in the testing phase, ये जो test closure है, this is a continuation from the previous phase of test execution. You basically generate a summary of the testing, ठीक है, ठीक है, and you make it part of the project documentation, ठीक है. It might be internal, कि it might be internal to your team that you say कि okay, these are the number of the bugs that we discovered. There can be a lot of very interesting things that can come out through these reports. Maybe you can identify the developers who basically make some very silly mistakes, and whenever you get a code from them, you basically sure that there would be a problem. Okay, so you can find very interesting data about your company, about the development team when you generate these reports. Okay ji, and finally we have the testing process analysis. In this what we do is basically the reports that we have generated in test closure, we basically analyze those reports. Okay, and the whole point of this process analysis is that you want to improve the product that you are making, okay, or you want to improve the overall testing process. Okay, and how you would do it, maybe आपको पता लग जाए कि यार there is a new tool for testing these kind of functionalities, ठीक है, and you would know कि यार इसकी this is very efficient, it reduces the testing time or it increases the efficiency of testing, तो आप कहेंगे यार we would use that technology from in the future, ठीक है। तो जो testing process analysis होता है, this is basically provides you a way forward. It tells you that your testing method maybe it's not efficient and you need to look for other ways to improve the efficiency or improve the performance of your testing. Okay, so we have seen कि हम जब testing process होता है, it starts with requirement study, ठीक है, फिर हम analysis और planning करते हैं जिसके अंदर हम we basically develop a schedule, हम resources identify करते हैं जिन्होंने testing करनी होती है, फिर we actually design the test cases and develop the test cases, then we perform the testing. ओके, जब हम टेस्टिंग परफॉर्म कर लेते हैं फिर हम टेस्टिंग को क्लोजर करते हैं, ठीक है, एंड वी ट्राई टू एनालाइज कि भाई हमने ये वाली टेस्टिंग की थी, उसकी बेसिस पे हम कुछ रिपोर्ट्स जनरेट करते हैं, ठीक है, एंड फाइनली वी हैव दिस टेस्ट प्रोसेस एनालिसिस, जो हमने रिपोर्ट्स जनरेट की होती है टेस्टिंग क्लोजर के अंदर, वी एनालाइज दैम एंड वी ट्राई टू फाइंड अ वे कि हाउ वी कैन इम्प्रूव द ओवरऑल टेस्टिंग प्रोसेस इन द कंपनी. ओके जी, दिस इज अ जनरल स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर टेस्टिंग कन्वेंशनल सॉफ्टवेयर. ओके, अगर आप इसको देखें जो आपकी सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट होती है, सॉफ्टवेयर जब आप कोई प्रोडक्ट बनाना स्टार्ट करते हैं तो यू स्टार्ट एट अ वेरी एब्स्ट्रैक्ट लेवल, ठीक है। फॉर एग्जांपल मैं कहता हूँ जी मेरी एक यूनिवर्सिटी है, आई वांट अ यूनिवर्सिटी मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम फॉर दैट, ठीक है। जैसे मैं आई हैव अ मीटिंग विद यू, यू आर डेवलपर्स, और आई हैव अ मीटिंग विद यू, मैं आपको कहता हूँ जी आई वांट अ यूनिवर्सिटी मैनेजमेंट सॉफ्टवेयर। नाउ दिस सेंटेंस इज वेरी वेग, इससे ज़्यादा वेग ये सेंटेंस नहीं हो सकता और इससे ज़्यादा एब्स्ट्रैक्ट नहीं हो सकता, क्योंकि इस स्टेज के ऊपर मैंने आपको कुछ भी नहीं बताया कि मैं यूनिवर्सिटी मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम तो कह दिया, पर मैं इसके अंदर क्या क्या चाहता हूँ। वेदर आई वांट अ स्टूडेंट मॉड्यूल, मुझे एडमिन का मॉड्यूल चाहिए, एग्जाम का चाहिए, फाइनेंस का चाहिए, एचआर का चाहिए, आई हैव नॉट सेड एनीथिंग। सो दिस इज अ वेरी एब्स्ट्रैक्ट और अ वेरी वेग स्टेटमेंट, ठीक है। तो जनरली जो सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट होती है वो बहुत एब्स्ट्रैक्ट लेवल से स्टार्ट होती है और फिर आप उसको कंक्रीट की तरफ लेकर जाते हैं। जब आप प्रोडक्ट को रिक्वायरमेंट्स गैदर करते हैं, फिर आप डिज़ाइन करते हैं, फिर आप उसकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करते हैं, तो जिस तरह आप एब्स्ट्रैक्ट से कंक्रीट की तरफ जा रहे होते हैं, ठीक है। तो दिस इज़ अ वेरी गुड स्लाइड जो कि आपको बताती है कि यहाँ आप स्टार्ट करते हैं एब्स्ट्रैक्ट से और जाते जाते ये हम कहते हैं जी दिस इज़ द कंक्रीट स्टेज, जहाँ पे हमारे पास कोड हो गया और एक्चुअली हमने कुछ इम्प्लीमेंट कर लिया। Whereas when we talk about testing, so in the testing it's the other way around, okay, और we'll see what the reason for that is, ठीक है। कि टेस्टिंग के अंदर हम पहले नैरो से स्टार्ट करते हैं या कंक्रीट से स्टार्ट करते हैं, फिर ओवरऑल प्रोडक्ट की टेस्टिंग करते हैं। अच्छा, व्हाट इज द रीजन फॉर दैट, ठीक है। व्हाई डू वी डू दैट, कि हम टेस्टिंग को हम उल्टा क्यों करते हैं, पहले छोटे लेवल से स्टार्ट करते हैं फिर ऊपर की तरफ जाते हैं। उसकी वजह यह है कि अगर आप प्रोडक्ट को ओवरऑल पहले टेस्टिंग करना शुरू कर दें और आपने फॉर एग्जांपल आई हैव रिटन अ प्रोग्राम जिसके अंदर 15 क्लासेस हैं, ओके, और आई डू नॉट फॉलो दिस स्ट्रैटेजी कि मैं नैरो से ब्रॉड स्कोप की तरफ जाऊं। मैं क्या करता हूं, मैं पूरे प्रोग्राम को एग्जीक्यूट कर लेता हूं और मैं कहता हूं जी अब मैं चेक करूंगा अपने प्रोग्राम के अंदर बग्स, मैं अब टेस्टिंग स्टार्ट करता हूं, ठीक है। तो आई स्टार्ट फाइंडिंग सो मेनी बग्स इन माई सॉफ्टवेयर, बट देन द प्रॉब्लम वुड बी आई वुड हैव टू फिगर आउट कि ये बग किस क्लास के अंदर है, ठीक है, या किस मॉड्यूल के अंदर ये बग है। नाउ दैट वुड बी अ वेरी सीरियस प्रॉब्लम। So the reason why in the case of testing we start from a very narrow place and then we broaden the scope is that we want to figure out first कि जो छोटी लेवल की चीज़ें हमने इम्प्लीमेंट की हैं वो सही चल रही हैं कि नहीं चल रही, क्योंकि we or the psychology or the thinking behind this is that okay we do that again, the thinking behind this is कि we want to make sure कि हमारा ये है कि अगर छोटी चीज़ें चल रही हैं तो बड़ी जब उनको हम मिलाएंगे वो भी चल रही होंगी, ठीक है। So what we do is we basically start testing with individual pieces of code that you have written, then we test the modules, then we integrate them and test them, then we test the overall product. So testing के अंदर we start with the very narrow scope and then we increase the scope. So जो सबसे lowest level of testing है उसको हम कहते हैं unit testing, ठीक है। And this is the testing which is performed by developers. जैसा मैंने आपसे कहा था कि हु परफॉर्म द टेस्टिंग के क्वेश्चन के आंसर में हम लोगों ने कहा था कि दो तरह के लोग टेस्टिंग करते हैं, एक तो डेवलपर्स करते हैं टेस्टिंग और एक आपकी जो टेस्टिंग टीम होती है वो टेस्टिंग करती है। तो जो यूनिट टेस्टिंग होती है नॉर्मली दैट इज परफॉर्म्ड बाय द डेवलपर्स। उसकी वजह क्या होती है, व्हाई डू द डेवलपर्स परफॉर्म दिस यूनिट टेस्टिंग, क्योंकि यूनिट टेस्टिंग ऐसी टेस्टिंग होती है जिसके अंदर आपको कोड का भी पता होना चाहिए। बेसिकली आप जब एक फंक्शन को लिख के उसको टेस्ट करने जा रहे हैं तो आपको ये पता होना चाहिए आपके इस फंक्शन के अंदर कितनी इफ एल्स कंडीशंस हैं, आपके इस फंक्शन के अंदर कितने फॉर लूप्स हैं, आपके इस फंक्शन के अंदर आपने कौन से बिजनेस लॉजिक इंप्लीमेंट किए, ठीक है। नाउ एज अ सॉफ्टवेयर टेस्टर आपको कोड के बारे में उतनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है जितनी डेवलपर को है। सो नॉर्मली द यूनिट टेस्टिंग इज डन बाय द डेवलपर्स हु राइट द कोड, ही टेस्ट द प्रोडक्ट फॉर दोस यूनिट टेस्ट केसेस। इसके बाद जितने भी लेवल ऑफ टेस्टिंग है, ठीक है, ये आपकी जो आ जाती है इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग, आपकी वैलिडेशन टेस्टिंग और आपकी सिस्टम टेस्टिंग। दीज थ्री काइंड्स ऑफ टेस्टिंग दे आर डन बाय सॉफ्टवेयर टेस्टिंग टीम, ठीक। सो वी सॉ कि डेवलपमेंट के अंदर वी स्टार्ट फ्रॉम अ वेरी एब्स्ट्रैक्ट डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट एंड देन वी गो, for example, when you write the code, so you have something concrete. You have actually developed the product. Whereas in case of testing, your scope at the beginning is very narrow, and then you increase the scope. Then you start testing, bigger. When you start with the function, then you go to the class level, then you go to the component level. फिर उससे आप module पे जाते हैं, then you basically test the overall product. ठीक है? So interesting. It's the other way around. So in this slide, we have seen that what are the different levels of testing. So we start with the unit testing, we do integration testing, then we do system testing, and finally we have acceptance testing which is basically done by the customer, and after that customer says okay, if the test अगर customer को कोई bug नहीं मिलते the customer would say okay जी, the requirements that I said you have implemented them fine, and then the finally the product is signed off or the product is accepted by the customer. So let's look at them, that what is involved in all of these testing. So what do we do in a unit testing? First of all, as I already said, that this is the most micro scale of testing, ठीक है, और दिस इज यहाँ पे जो टेस्टिंग का स्कोप होता है वो सबसे नैरो होता है. अगर आपको डायग्राम याद हो कि जो सबसे लोएस्ट लेवल ऑफ टेस्टिंग है दैट इज यूनिट टेस्टिंग, ठीक है, एंड टेस्टिंग इज डन ऑन द पर्टिकुलर फंक्शंस और द कोड मॉड्यूल्स, ठीक है. फॉर एग्जांपल आप कहते हैं कि जी आपने एक फंक्शन लिखा है, व्हाटएवर द फंक्शन इज, फॉर एग्जांपल आपने कहा जी मेरा ये फंक्शन था और आपने एक फंक्शन लिख लिया और आप फिर इसको टेस्ट करेंगे, ठीक है. तो इट इज डन एट दिस लेवल, ठीक. यहाँ आपका कोई कोड का मॉड्यूल था, फॉर एग्जांपल आपने पूरी क्लास लिखी तो आप कहते हैं जी मैं अब इसको टेस्ट करूंगा, एंड नॉर्मली दिस इज डन बाय डेवलपर्स बिकॉज इट रिक्वायर्स नॉलेज ऑफ द इंटरनल प्रोग्राम डिजाइन एंड कोड, ठीक है, एंड दैट नॉलेज इज विद द डेवलपर, ठीक है. जो आपने इस फंक्शन के अंदर जिस तरह लॉजिक इंप्लीमेंट किया ओनली यू वुड नो दैट, ठीक है, बिकॉज दैट इज टेसिट नॉलेज. टेसिट नॉलेज वो होती है जो बंदा करता है उसी के दिमाग में होती है, इट्स नॉट एक्सप्लिसिटली रिटन समवेयर, ठीक है. तो दिस इज डन बाय द प्रोग्रामर्स, इट इज नॉट डन बाय द टेस्टर्स, क्योंकि डेवलपर्स को जो उन्होंने लिखा होता है उसकी लॉजिक दे ओनली नो द लॉजिक बिहाइंड इट. ओके, सो वंस अगेन दिस इज द मोस्ट माइक्रो स्केल ऑफ टेस्टिंग. और आप टेस्टिंग किस लेवल पे करते हैं? द फंक्शन यू हैव रिटन और एनी कोड मॉड्यूल दैट यू हैव रिटन यू विल टेस्ट दैट. ओके जी, सो दिस इज अ स्लाइड दैट समराइजेस व्हाट आर द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. Your objective is to test the function of a program or the unit of code such as program or module, ठीक है जी. To test the internal logic, जिसके अंदर आपके business rules आ जाते हैं, अगर कोई specific किस्म के business rules हैं you want to test कि वो चल रहे हैं. To verify the internal design, to test the path and condition coverage. अभी जब हम यूनिट टेस्टिंग को डिटेल में देखेंगे तो हम ये भी देखेंगे ये पाथ और कंडीशन कवरेज ये क्या चीज़ें होती हैं. एंड टू टेस्ट द एक्सेप्शन कंडीशन और एरर हैंडलिंग, ठीक है. सो unit testing के अंदर the objective is to cover these kind of things. And when do we do unit testing? After the module they are coded, ठीक है. As soon as आपने कोडिंग का एक सर्टन काम कंप्लीट कर लिया, फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर फॉलोइंग इंक्रीमेंटल मॉडल, और इंक्रीमेंट आपने एक इंक्रीमेंट कंप्लीट कर ली, ठीक है, और उसके अंदर आपने कुछ कोड किया तो यू विल टेस्ट दैट कोड देन, ठीक है. दैट्स व्हेन एक्चुअली द यूनिट टेस्टिंग इज परफॉर्म्ड. इसके अंदर आपकी जो इनपुट है वो क्या क्या इनपुट्स होती है? यू हैव योर इंटरनल application design, your master test plan and your unit test plan, ठीक है. These are the inputs. The output is the test report. जो भी आपने unit test इस रन किया, the report में क्या होगा कि कहाँ bug आए हैं. अगर bug नहीं आए you would say everything is absolutely fine. So this is the output of this whole unit testing. And who does it? The developer. He is responsible for performing unit testing. What are the methods of doing unit testing? ठीक है, this is something that we will cover in our next lecture on software testing. That there is a whole methodology which is called white box testing. ठीक है, white box testing का क्या मतलब है? Basically a box in which you can see through. ठीक है, the reason why इसके अंदर white box methodology क्यों अप्लाई की जाती है? क्योंकि इसके अंदर हमें कोड के इंटरनल डिजाइन का पता होना चाहिए यूनिट टेस्टिंग के अंदर. तो इसके लिए अंदर जो टेक्निक है और जो मेथड है दैट इज व्हाइट बॉक्स टेस्टिंग. और जो टूल्स होते हैं इसके लिए वन ऑफ द मोस्ट यूज्ड टूल्स इज डीबगिंग, ठीक है, और रीस्ट्रक्चर, और देयर आर कोड एनालाइजर्स. कोड एनालाइजर्स क्या करते हैं? दे बेसिकली चेक कि आपने जो कोड लिखा है उसके अंदर सारी जो स्टेटमेंट्स हैं वो रीचेबल हैं कि नहीं है, ठीक है. तो कोड एनालाइजर वुड डू दैट. देन यू हैव पाथ एंड स्टेटमेंट कवरेज टूल्स व्हिच आल्सो डज द सेम थिंग, ठीक है. और इसके अंदर द पर्सन हु इज परफॉर्मिंग दिस काइंड ऑफ टेस्टिंग ही नीड्स टू बी एजुकेटेड ऑन द टेस्टिंग मेथोडोलॉजी और इफेक्टिव यूज ऑफ टूल्स. इफ यू आर यूजिंग एनी टूल देन ही शुड नो हाउ टू यूज दैम. दिस स्लाइड इज जस्ट समराइजेस कि व्हाट आर द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ यूनिट टेस्टिंग, व्हेन डू यू डू इट, okay, what is the input, what are the outputs, who does it, what are the methods that are used, and what are the tools are used, and what kind of education you need if you are the one who is performing this unit testing. Okay जी, जो हमारा next level था that was incremental integration testing, ठीक है. What does it say? You basically continuously test an application whenever you add a new functionality. And this is very common in case of incremental models. क्योंकि incremental model के अंदर आप क्या करते हैं? आप एक increment के अंदर कुछ चीज़ डेवलप करते हैं, नेक्स्ट increment के अंदर आप कुछ नई फंक्शनलिटी डालते हैं. अब जब आपने नई फंक्शनलिटी डाली है तो आपको पुरानी को भी टेस्ट करना होता है कि यार वो वाला काम मेरा ख़राब तो नहीं हो गया, ठीक है. क्योंकि जब आप नई, और ये आपको अगर आपको याद हो when we covered those agile process models जिसके अंदर हमने extreme programming और scrum कवर किए थे, we said कि जो incremental testing है that is very important in them. क्योंकि आप हर increment में कोई नई फंक्शनलिटी देते हैं, ठीक है, और हो सकता है आप पुराने कोड को भी थोड़ा सा छेड़ते हो. सो द आइडिया इज दैट वेन एवर यू डू समथिंग न्यू इन द कोड यू बेसिकली टेस्ट इट कि आपके पुरानी वाली चीज़ को इसने ख़राब तो नहीं कर दिया. तो दैट इज कॉल्ड इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग, क्योंकि आपने फॉर एग्जांपल एक फंक्शनलिटी को दूसरी फंक्शनलिटी से इंटीग्रेट किया है. नाउ यू नीड टू टेस्ट दैट कि जो इंटीग्रेशन के बाद वो पुरानी वाली चीज़ें और नई वाली चीज़ें दोनों चल रही हैं कि नहीं चल रही. अच्छा जी, एंड दिस इज डन बाय, नॉर्मली दिस इज डन बाय टेस्टर्स. ठीक है, जो सॉफ्टवेयर टेस्टिंग टीम है दे आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर डूइंग दिस इंक्रीमेंटल टेस्टिंग. ठीक है जी. और इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग के अंदर क्या होता है, इंक्रीमेंटल इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग इट्स काइंड ऑफ दिस इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग. तो इंटीग्रेशन के अंदर क्या होता है, टेस्टिंग ऑफ कंबाइंड पार्ट्स ऑफ एन एप्लीकेशन टू डिटरमिन देयर फंक्शनल करेक्टनेस. ठीक है, पार्ट्स कैन बी कोड मॉड्यूल्स, इंडिविजुअल एप्लीकेशंस एंड क्लाइंट सर्वर एप्लीकेशन ऑन अ नेटवर्क. ठीक है, अब ये देखिए इंटीग्रेशन के भी डिफरेंट लेवल्स हो सकते हैं. ठीक है, वन लेवल कैन बी और द लोएस्ट लेवल कैन बी कि आपके कोड के डिफरेंट मॉड्यूल्स हैं उनको आपने आपस में मिलाया तो यू आर डूइंग इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग. Another is कि आपने डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ एप्लीकेशंस बनाई हुई हैं लेकिन दे हैव एन इंटरफेस विद ईच अदर. ठीक है, तो जब आपको उनके इंटरफेस के ऊपर आप चेक कर रहे हैं कि यार ये दोनों मिलके भी सही काम कर रही हैं कि नहीं कर रही. और इफ़ यू हैव अ क्लाइंट सर्वर आर्किटेक्चर, यू हैव अ क्लाइंट साइड एंड यू हैव अ सर्वर साइड, तो आप उनको मिला के भी टेस्ट करते हैं, उस लेवल की भी इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग हो सकती है. सो यू कैन सी कि इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग के भी डिफरेंट लेवल्स हो सकते हैं. Okay, and then again this is the same kind of slide which we had for unit testing, which summarizes कि what are the objectives of integration testing. So the objective is you want to technically verify proper interfacing between modules and within subsystems. ठीक है, क्योंकि आपने जब individual modules को तो टेस्ट कर लिया शायद मे बी थ्रू यूनिट टेस्टिंग, लेकिन जब आप उनको मिलाना चाह रहे हैं तो they would communicate with each other through some interfaces. तो आप देखना चाहते हैं कि यार ये जो इनके दरमियान इंटरफेसिंग थी ये सही तरह से हुई है कि नहीं हुई. एंड व्हेन डू यू डू इट, जब आपके मॉड्यूल्स यूनिट टेस्ट कर लेते हैं आप, जब आप सेटिस्फाई हो जाते हैं इंडिविजुअल मॉड्यूल से, तब आप इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग करते हैं. एंड अगेन द इनपुट इज यू हैव इंटरनल एंड एक्सटर्नल एप्लीकेशन डिजाइन. वाई एक्सटर्नल, क्योंकि आपको पता होना चाहिए कि मॉड्यूल्स के इंटरफेसेस क्या होने चाहिए थे. ठीक है, फिर यू नीड मास्टर टेस्ट प्लान एंड यू नीड इंटीग्रेशन टेस्ट प्लान. द आउटपुट इज इंटीग्रेशन टेस्ट रिपोर्ट. एंड हु डज इट, दिस इज नॉर्मली डन बाय टेस्टर्स बट डेवलपर्स कैन ऑल्सो डू इट एट सम टाइम्स. It depends on the size of the project or in the size of the development team. What are the methods? Normally the methods that are used are the black box methods. Black box क्यों होते हैं, क्योंकि उसके अंदर mostly हमें कोड के इंटरनल्स का या प्रोग्राम के इंटरनल डिजाइन का नहीं पता होना चाहिए. ठीक है, बट एट टाइम्स सम वाइट बॉक्स टेक्निक्स दे आर ऑल्सो यूज्ड. ठीक है, or you do configuration management, that is another method of doing this kind of testing. Okay, and the tools that you use, you can debug, you can restructure, or you can do use code analyzers. Or again, you need education of any tool that you're using, or you need to be educated about testing methodology to actually perform this integration testing. The next level of testing was system testing. ठीक, system testing जब आप नाम ही सुनते हैं तो आपको पता लग जाता है you are testing the complete system. ठीक है, अब अगेन इसी नाम से अगर हम देखें कि what are the objectives of system testing. So the first objective is that you want to verify that the system components they perform the control functions. ठीक है, to perform inter-system test. ठीक है, to demonstrate that the system performs both functionality and operationally as specified and where it, जैसे कि आपने SRS या requirements के अंदर specify किया है उसी तरह वो functionality पे perform कर रहा है, performance भी उसकी वही है. To perform appropriate types of test relating to transaction flow, installation, reliability and regression. अभी अगर इसके अंदर आप देखें कि जब हम सिस्टम टेस्टिंग कर रहे हैं तो हम सिर्फ फंक्शनैलिटी को नहीं, हम देख रहे हैं कि यार इंस्टॉल सही होती है कि नहीं होती, हमारा प्रोग्राम क्रैश तो नहीं करता. ठीक है, हम उसको स्ट्रेस टेस्टिंग भी उसकी करते हैं, यानी कि उसके ऊपर फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर सेविंग समथिंग इनटू अ डेटाबेस, तो यू ट्राई टू यूज कि आप मल्टीपल क्लाइंट से उसके ऊपर डाटा भेज रहे हैं, आप देखते हैं कि आपकी सर्वर साइड कहीं क्रैश तो नहीं कर जाती. ठीक है, सो यू बेसिकली टेस्ट देम फॉर एवरीथिंग. और व्हेन डू यू डू सिस्टम टेस्टिंग, ऑब्वियसली जब आपकी इंटीग्रेशन का कंप्लीट हो गई है देन यू डू सिस्टम टेस्टिंग. ठीक है, द इनपुट इज दैट यू नीड डिटेल्ड रिक्वायरमेंट्स, क्योंकि इस स्टेज के ऊपर आप अपने प्रोडक्ट को उन सारी रिक्वायरमेंट्स के अगेंस्ट टेस्ट करते हो. तो यू नीड रिक्वायरमेंट्स एंड द एक्सटर्नल एप्लीकेशन डिजाइन. यू नीड द मास्टर टेस्ट प्लान, क्योंकि आपको पता होना चाहिए कि एट व्हाट स्टेज यू आर एक्चुअली एट. क्योंकि जब हमने प्लानिंग की बात की थी टेस्टिंग की, तो हम उसके अंदर हर टेस्टिंग लेवल को प्लान कर लेते हैं कि यूनिट टेस्टिंग इस वक्त होगी, इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग इस वक्त होगी, सिस्टम टेस्टिंग इस वक्त होगी. यू नीड दैट प्लान, क्योंकि उससे आपको पता लगता है रिसोर्सेज कौन है, कौन करेगा, कितने टाइम के लिए चाहिए, यू नो दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. एंड देन यू हैव सिस्टम टेस्ट प्लान. द आउटपुट इज द सिस्टम टेस्ट रिपोर्ट. एंड हु डज इट, यू बेसिकली दिस इज डन बाय द टेस्टिंग टीम एंड द यूजर्स ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट. ठीक है, and the methods, you know, you basically you do configuration management. ठीक है, and the tools, it depends, you know, what kind of product there is. ठीक है, at times there are some testing suites available, जिस तरह जो एक तरह की फंक्शनैलिटी होती है, फॉर एग्जांपल वेबसाइट्स की टेस्टिंग के लिए बहुत से टेस्टिंग सूट्स बने हुए हैं. और टेस्टिंग सूट्स क्या होते हैं, जो सिमिलर सेट ऑफ टेस्ट केसेस होते हैं उनको आप कंबाइन कर देते हैं और आप एक वेबसाइट दे देंगे, कहेंगे जी इस वेबसाइट को टेस्ट कर दो, तो दिस इज दैट इज एग्जांपल ऑफ अ टेस्टिंग सूट। और अगेन यू नीड टू बी एजुकेटेड ऑन द टेस्टिंग मेथोडोलॉजी टू एक्चुअली परफॉर्म दिस काइंड ऑफ टेस्टिंग। ओके जी, देन वी हैव द सिस्टम इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग। ठीक है, इसके अंदर आप क्या करते हैं, टू टेस्ट द कोएग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट्स एंड एप्लीकेशंस दैट आर रिक्वायर्ड टू परफॉर्म टुगेदर इन अ प्रोडक्शन लाइक ऑपरेशनल एनवायरनमेंट। ठीक है, क्योंकि इसके अंदर आप अक्रॉस द सिस्टम्स टेस्टिंग कर रहे हैं। इफ यू हैव मल्टीपल सिस्टम्स व्हिच नीड टू वर्क टुगेदर टू परफॉर्म सर्टेन फंक्शनैलिटी, तो यू आर एक्चुअली टेस्टिंग दैट। ठीक है, और यू वांट टू इंश्योर दिस इज काइंड ऑफ एन एडवांस लेवल ऑफ इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग, बट जब आपने इंडिविजुअल सिस्टम्स डेवलप किए उन सिस्टम्स को फिर आप मिला के टेस्ट कर रहे हैं। सो एज सिंपल एज दैट। ठीक है, the second objective is you want to ensure that the system function together with all the components of its environment as a total system. ठीक है, to ensure that the system releases can be deployed in the current environment. ठीक है, when do you do it? अगर आपके मल्टीपल सिस्टम्स है तो आप जब आपने इंडिविजुअल सिस्टम को टेस्ट कर लिया तो आप उसके बाद इसको करते हैं। ठीक है, और इनपुट क्या है आपकी टेस्टिंग स्ट्रेटजी, यू नीड अ मास्टर टेस्ट प्लान, यू नीड अ सिस्टम इंटीग्रेशन टेस्ट प्लान। द आउटपुट इज सिस्टम इंटीग्रेशन टेस्ट रिपोर्ट। Who does it? It is basically done by the system testers. ठीक है, और technique normally is the black box testing. ठीक है, और again tool it depends on the product that you are testing, or education you need to be educated on the testing methodology. The final level of testing is the acceptance testing. ठीक है जी, acceptance testing क्या कहती है कि in this testing your objective is to verify that the system it meets the user requirements. दिस इज काइंड ऑफ द वैलिडेशन, ये आपकी फाइनल ऑफ वैलिडेशन की स्टेज आ गई है, जहाँ पे आप देख रहे हैं कि यार ये मेरी रिक्वायरमेंट्स थी, इनके अगेंस्ट मेरी प्रोडक्ट चल रही है कि नहीं चल रही। ठीक है, और एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग इज डन बाय द कस्टमर। ठीक है, यू नीड टू कीप इन माइंड। सो बेसिकली हमने जो कहा था कि हु डज टेस्टिंग, तो अब आप कह सकते हैं तीन तरह के लोग टेस्टिंग करते हैं। एक आपके डेवलपर्स करते हैं, एक आपके सॉफ्टवेयर टेस्टर्स करते हैं, और तीसरा आपके एंड यूजर्स करते हैं। सो देयर आर थ्री काइंड ऑफ पीपल हु वुड परफॉर्म टेस्टिंग। और when this is done, ये आपकी acceptance testing किस स्टेज पे की जाती है? Obviously, when you have completed the system testing and you're satisfied with the overall functionality that your system is providing, तब आप कस्टमर को कहते हैं ले जी अब आप प्रोडक्ट को टेस्ट करें। तो at that stage, the acceptance testing is done. What is the input? The input is the business needs and the detailed requirements, क्योंकि कस्टमर उन्हीं के अगेंस्ट आपकी प्रोडक्ट को चेक करेगा। Master test plan he would see, then the user acceptance test plan, and the output is user acceptance test report, जो कि टेस्ट रिपोर्ट यही होगी अगर प्रोडक्ट सारे उन टेस्ट केसेस के सही चल जाती है तो यूजर कहेगा हाँ जी प्रोडक्ट इज एक्सेप्टेड, इफ नॉट तो यूजर विल से कि नहीं दीस थिंग्स आर नॉट वर्किंग फाइन, यू फिक्स देम एंड देन कम बैक टू अस। एंड हु डज इट, ये हम पहले ही देख चुके हैं, कस्टमर या जो एंड यूजर्स हैं आपके प्रोडक्ट के, दे वुड नॉर्मली डू द एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग। और द मेथड्स दे आर ब्लैक बॉक्स टेक्निक्स, क्योंकि एंड यूजर को कोई कंसर्न नहीं है आपने कोड कैसे किया है, कितनी क्लासेस थी, कितने कंपोनेंट्स थे, उसने बस देखने मेरी फंक्शनैलिटी चल रही है कि नहीं चल रही। ठीक है, सो द टेक्निक इज ब्लैक बॉक्स। अगेन टूल्स क्या है कि लोग जो आपके सॉफ्टवेयर को एक्चुअली यूज करेंगे, दैट्स हाउ दे विल एक्चुअली टेस्ट द प्रोडक्ट। ठीक है, और एजुकेशन दे वांट टू बी फेमिलियर विद द टेस्टिंग मेथोडोलॉजी। ठीक है, जो टूल्स हैं उनका भी यूज का होना चाहिए, जो प्रोडक्ट नॉलेज है एंड यूजर को पता होना चाहिए कि यार ये फंक्शनैलिटी मैंने इसमें टेस्ट करनी है। ठीक है, तो they want to the people who do it or the end users, first of all they need to be educated about the product, and only then they can do this or they can perform this acceptance testing. So this is we are approaching the end of today's lecture. Now let's have a recap of what we have covered in today's lecture. Okay, first of all we introduced कि हमने कहा कि जी हमारा जो सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोसेस मॉडल होता है उसकी 5 फेजेस होती हैं। हमने कहा जी रिक्वायरमेंट्स होती है, वी हैव डिज़ाइन, वी हैव इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, वी हैव टेस्टिंग एंड देन वी हैव डिप्लॉयमेंट। इसके अंदर से हम एनालिसिस या रिक्वायरमेंट्स की फेज को हम कवर कर चुके हैं। वी हैव डन सीरीज ऑफ लेक्चर्स ऑन डिज़ाइन, देन वी हैव स्किप्ड इम्प्लीमेंटेशन बिकॉज इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इज काइंड ऑफ आउट ऑफ स्कोप ऑफ दिस कोर्स। ठीक है, क्योंकि इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए यू हैव अदर कोर्सेज लाइक वी सेड इन द बिगिनिंग एज वेल. You have your programming courses, introduction to programming, object-oriented programming, and you might have data structures. So these kind of courses, they would teach you techniques of how to develop a product based on the set of requirements. Okay. So then came the phase which is software testing. Okay? So when we introduced testing, we basically answered a set of questions that why do we do testing? Okay? And the answer was that we want to make sure that the product that we are delivering to the customer is working absolutely fine, and you want to make sure कि जो requirements हमने customer से दी थी उनके against ये product सही जा रही है कि नहीं जा रही, क्योंकि customer accept ही नहीं करेगा अगर requirements पूरी नहीं होंगी. And secondly, even if the customer accepts और उसको बाद में वो bug मिलते हैं, then that would bring a bad name to your company, ठीक है, क्योंकि people would say कि this is a company who delivers buggy products, okay, so you do not want your company to be known like that. And when it is done, we saw that there are different levels of testing, ठीक है, हमने कहा जी यूनिट टेस्टिंग होती है, इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग होती है, सिस्टम टेस्टिंग होती है, एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग होती है. So there are different stages at which this testing is performed. And who does it? Initially we said कि there are two kind of people who test, but later on we figure out that there are actually three kind of people who do testing. You have your developers, जैसे जैसे वो कोड लिखते हैं वो अपने कोड को टेस्ट करते हैं. Then you have your software testers, जो कि आपकी प्रोडक्ट को वैलिडेट करते हैं रिक्वायरमेंट्स के अगेंस्ट, या आपकी इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग करते हैं, आपकी सिस्टम टेस्टिंग करते हैं. देन यू हैव योर कस्टमर्स जो कि एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग करते हैं, क्योंकि फाइनली कस्टमर इज द वन हु विल एक्सेप्ट और रिजेक्ट द प्रोडक्ट. सो द कस्टमर विल परफॉर्म दिस और द एंड यूजर विल परफॉर्म द एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग. ओके जी, देन वी बेसिकली एनालाइज के पूरा जो टेस्टिंग प्रोसेस होता है या जो टेस्टिंग लाइफ साइकिल है उसके अंदर क्या क्या फेजेस हैं, ठीक है. वी सॉ कि जी पहली फेज क्या होती है कि वी स्टडी द रिक्वायरमेंट्स. The second phase is that we basically develop or basically we plan for कि हमने testing कैसे करनी है, analysis और planning जो आप करते हैं testing. Then you develop the test cases and design them. Then you execute the test cases. Then you perform a closure on the test cases. Closure के अंदर हम क्या करते हैं, हम एक रिपोर्ट जनरेट करते हैं, हम देखते हैं कि यार कौन से टेस्ट केसेस सही चले, किस रिपोर्टर की क्या बात. एंड फाइनली हमारा जो आखिरी काम होता है, हम पूरे टेस्टिंग प्रोसेस को एनालाइज करते हैं, बिकॉज वी वांट टू इंक्रीज और इम्प्रूव द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ आवर टेस्टिंग, ठीक है. तो इन द फाइनल फेज हमने जो रिपोर्ट्स टेस्टिंग क्लोजर के अंदर रन की होती है, वी डू एनालिसिस ऑन दोज रिपोर्ट्स. ओके, एंड टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ द लेक्चर वी हैव सीन कि हम यूनिट टेस्टिंग कब करते हैं. यूनिट टेस्टिंग के हमने ऑब्जेक्टिव्स देखे, कौन करता है, व्हाट आर द टूल्स दैट आर यूज्ड, what is the input, what is the output, and similarly we have done these things for other levels of testing, जिसके अंदर हमने देखा integration testing, system testing and acceptance testing. So this is the end of today's lecture. In the next lecture we will start with the different methods and the techniques that are used to perform these different levels of testing. Until then, take care and Assalamu alaikum.